Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Energize Live. We have we got some groove going this morning. Good morning. How are you this morning? I have to grab my water. How are you doing this morning? Happy Thursday. Welcome to Energize Live. This is where we make magic in the morning. And this morning we have a Q&A. I hope you're bringing your questions. I'm gonna grab some water. Let us know where you're coming in from today. All right. And we have people all over the world. It's the coolest thing ever. Like this platform of social media, I love it so much. And I want to know where you're coming in from. So let me know in the comments where you're coming in from while I grab some water. You know, feel free to do a little groove while you're doing it too. Okay, that's the only move I have. New Hampshire. Is it New Hampshire or New Hampshire? Tell me. I have to get some collagen. Cape Charles, Virginia, Ontario, Canada, Manhattan, Kansas. Hi, Sandra. Carmel, Indiana. I gotta say, Sandra, I'm glad that it's you there and not me. I said it. What is it? Is it Hampshire? New Hampshire. Salisbury, Maryland. South Yorkshire, the United Kingdom. Like, what? I mean, God, I love social media so much. I love it so much. And I love when you say hi to each other. That's the best ever, too. I love our Energize Live community so much. Okay, I'm going to make some Energize. Speaking of, I'm making some strawberry lemonade, collagen with vitamin C. You know the drill. You know the cocktail. And today is a Q&A. I brought like some thoughts to you, you know, all week long. And today is just going to be a live Q&A. So I hope you brought some questions because that's the only way a Q&A works, right? Like you get that. Like a Q&A only works if there are questions to which we can discuss and have conversation around some answers. So that's how it works. All right, strawberry lemonade, Energize. First of all, if you're not drinking strawberry lemonade, Energize, get out because you need to go have your life changed. You need to go get your life together and then come back. Okay, go get your life together and then come back. Oh, I do have a really cool story to tell you. Let's get this made and then we'll do this really cool story. Who makes their Energize with me? Raise your hand if you wait to make your Energize when we're on here together. I would love to know who's actually making their Energize at this exact same time too. You're drinking yours now, Katie? I mean, it's game changing. It's game changing. You're trying it for the first time today. You have your strawberry lemonade. Yeah, yes. These are smart people. Listen, these are very smart people with their strawberry lemonade Energize. Yes, you're making it right now. I love when that's why we do this. We make it together. Alexa off. Okay, that was being annoying. You're drinking it now. Strawberry lemonade plus hydrate plus emergency. I like that. I like that little cocktail. This is a very powerful frother, so we're gonna see. Let's see. Okay, make it right before then you go back to your office to listen. So I love it so much. Well, listen, let me tell you this story. It's just the coolest ever to me. My children, do I drink coffee too? No, I do not. I've never consumed coffee. Although, Lindsay, I will tell you, I absolutely love the smell of coffee. The smell of coffee reminds me of my dad and home because when we would travel, we would drive to Florida or drive wherever, he would go through McDonald's in the morning. You know, when you travel, you have your coffee, go through McDonald's in the morning, and he would get his egg McMuffin and his cup of coffee, and McDonald's in the morning, they would open up the drive-through window, and that smell of coffee would come out, and it would be in the car. So I love the smell of coffee. It just reminds me of my dad. But no, I do not drink it. Neither my husband nor I. We are not hot drink drinkers. I know I tried to like tea because it's so beneficial. No, hot chocolate. No, apple cider, hot cider, whatever. A little bit, but no, like I'll put it. It's so cute, so aesthetic. I put it in a cup. I drink like a sip of it, and then I'm done. I'm just not a hot drink drinker. I need cold, which is so strange since I'm always cold. It's so strange, but I'm not a coffee drinker. So I want to tell you this little story, and then I want to do a Q&A. Correct. He was a football coach who didn't drink coffee. I do want to do a Q&A, so I want you to be thinking about questions that you can ask me, because here I am at your disposal, and you can ask me anything. And you know I'm on a mission to help women ask better questions. So don't be being a fool and asking silly questions. You're smarter than that. So listen, my middle daughter, Josie, lives in LA, and she works for Disney Plus. She works for the Walt Disney Company. So as she gets into it, we get more information about her job, and then we get less because she can't tell us stuff. Like, she has a job that she can't tell us stuff about. Love it so much. So she works for the Walt Disney Company, and she works in like Disney Media and Entertainment. And then over here is like Disney Parks. So here's Disney Media and Entertainment. And she works for Disney Plus. And right now, this is her 4th week on the job, and she is getting into her first project herself. So she has her first solo project where she's analyzing the data and coming up with strategy. We don't know what she's analyzing she can't tell us what it is. She can't tell us what show it is, what project it is. We just know it's her first one. But yesterday was the premiere of High School Musical, the series, season 3, say that 3 times fast, on Disney Plus, which we're big fans of. Last season was terrible. First season was amazing, but we're big fans of it. And she sent us a picture in the afternoon. She's like, just a casual red carpet premiere, at my place of employment, because she was in her office yesterday, which is on the Walt Disney Studio lot, and they had a red carpet pulled out, and they had a big step and and they were doing a big premiere for High School Musical, the musical series, season 3. And she's like, I'm at work, and it's just a casual premiere here for this. So I'm like, you have the coolest job ever. She has the coolest job ever. So proud of her. That girl worked so hard, and it's just really cool to see that, start to come to fruition, all that hard work. And she's like, we're like, how are you liking it? And she's like, it's a lot of work. And like, she's met now a lot of the corporate level people, and she was riding the elevator the other day with Bob Chapek, who's the CEO of the entire Walt Disney Company, and she's like, it's a lot of work. It's a big job. And so I think sometimes she's a little nervous, like, am I doing this job? Guess what? You're doing this job. It's like anything else. Do you know how you get better at doing the job? You do the job. How do you get competent? You gain competence. How do you gain competence? By taking action and doing the work. So as she does the work, she gets competent, she gains competence. And then they'll give her another project, another challenge, and she'll get competent in that, and she'll get confident in that. And that's how we get competence, is we do the thing before we're confident. We do the thing, we get some competence that gives us some confidence. That's kind of how life works. So it doesn't matter whether you're building a Beachbody business. I don't even know if this lid fits or not. I'm trying to put it on. I don't even know if it fits. Oh my stars, that's so good. Okay, so what I want to do today, this morning, to really serve you and answer questions that you might have after what we've talked about a lot this week. We've talked about building a business. We've talked about spouse support. We talked about money. We've talked about a lot. We've talked about women celebrating each other. I just had a lot of conversations this week, and what I thought would be good today was to come back to some of that. So we will not have Energized Live tomorrow because today we are going over to the Riviera Hotel here on property and just doing a little family staycation. We're staying at the Riviera, and then going to Disney. We're going to Hollywood Studios tomorrow on Disney property, going to Hollywood Studios tomorrow morning early and doing Star Wars and blah, blah, blah. And so no Energized Live tomorrow because I will be at Hollywood Studios. So, Patty, will tell your husband thank you. Tell your husband thank you. Thank you. I don't know what that means, but I appreciate that. So, because there's no Energized Live tomorrow, which is generally a day that we might do a Q&A, we are doing a Q&A today. But it only works if there are cues, okay? There are cues. So I need you to think about everything we've talked about before. Think about the questions that you asked in that question box last weekend, and let's start having some Q&A. I'm going to take you outside so we can see the sunrise. I feel like the sunrise is getting later, which doesn't make me happy. I'm not really sure what time it came up today, or it's coming up today, but I feel like it's getting a little bit later each day. Come on, lady, let's go outside. She waits on me every morning. Oh, it's very, very quiet sunrise this morning. Very quiet sunrise. Shut that. Okay. There we go. Now we're outside. Oh, it's really lovely. It's really lovely this morning. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my goodness, it's stunning. Oh my goodness. Sometimes the quiet sunrises are the best, aren't they? Look at that. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. So stunning. Okay, so with our time left together, what questions do you have that I can answer this morning? As I shared before, in those question boxes, those question buckets that you shared some of your questions with over the weekend, it was like Disney and how to build your business. Disney and how to build your business. Help you build your business. And I just need more specifics on that. We talked about that yesterday. How have I built my business? I've showed up. So the Kristen Dickerson, what are some things you do in your challenge groups to keep your team engaged? That's a pretty specific business question, which might only be relevant to a very small fraction of people that are on here, Kristen. So I'm going to ask you to direct that more to your team and your upline coach. And if we can get questions that are a little more general, rather than those kinds of questions, I think that would be more helpful. Business building or relationship or parenting or things like that. That might be a little bit more helpful to everyone. And I will say a little bit to that question, to keep anyone engaged, the question is, well, what would keep you engaged? What would keep you interested? What would motivate and inspire you? What would keep you connected to a group? So it's not about how can I come up with some sort of craziness for someone else. The question is, what would help me? And then give that to your people, because we connect with people who are like us, right? We've talked about that a million times. We're on a constant quest to find our people. And if we're trying to find our people, we're going to have some similarities. And if those similarities extend to sort of what motivates us, inspires us, excites us, keeps us connected, then when you're creating content for you, where you are now and what would motivate and excite and keep you connected. So don't make it more complicated than it is. A. Schaefer, 0826. A. Schaefer. First of all, thank you for being on. I'm thrilled that you're here. Welcome to the Energized Life family. Secondly, we're going to need you to make your Instagram handle your first and last name. Okay? Because I can't have a conversation with A. Schaefer 0826. I'm going to answer your question. However, like if I saw you in Publix grocery store or at Whole Foods, I wouldn't go, A. Schaefer 0826. Like I would want to say your first name. And right now I don't know it. And even if you tell me in the comments, I will not know it. It needs to be in your Instagram handle. Okay, now I'm gonna answer your question. Tell me about things you were passionate about before joining coaching, and what did you do for a career prior to coaching? Okay, this is funny to me. This is a funny question. Tell me about things you were passionate about before joining coaching, as if the things I've been passionate about in life stopped when I started my coaching business. That's not true. What did I do for a career prior to Beachbody? So I was a high school English teacher. I am passionate about teaching and mentoring and connecting people with solutions that work. I am passionate about shortening people's learning curves. I am passionate about storytelling. I'm passionate about storytelling so much. I'm passionate about helping humans step into their power and their potential. All of those passions transferred directly from teaching high school English into mentoring women in my Team Beachbody business. You don't live in a vacuum. The things you like prior to starting a Team Beachbody business are still the things you like. It's just now part of you. This isn't what I do. This is who I am. This is who I am. And as a coach, it's just a natural outlet for the things that I love to do, which is mentor women and help them step into their potential and understand you're so much smarter and stronger than you think you are. So I was a high school English teacher. I kind of fell into teaching group exercise, which was a real passion of mine I discovered. And then I became a master trainer, meaning I trained other group fitness instructors. And then the Beachbody opportunity was presented to me. Thank God. I thank every single day that I said yes to it. I can't even imagine what my life would be like without it. And here I am, 14 years later. So I taught high school English for a number of years. I was a fitness instructor and a Team Beachbody coach, now building that business. So I just think that your skill sets, we're just a human being, right? We're not like, and then I was this, and then I was this, and then I was this, and we exist in a vacuum. We're just a human being. And the skill sets we have, they just transfer. How did I become a confident public speaker? Well, you're assuming that I am a confident public speaker. I have a lot to say, and I have a lot of thoughts. I would not say in any way I'm necessarily confident, but I will say this. And this is where being a female is weird. This is where being female is weird. And here's why. Tell me if you agree with this or disagree. Also, I just said, this is stunning this morning. Absolutely stunning. Here's where being a female is weird. Because I'm very aware of my calling and my mission and my purpose and where I feel like I am sharing my gifts with the world. And make no mistake, don't get it twisted. Every single human being on this planet has gifts and lights and talents that is theirs to share with the world. Every single human being. So please do not look at me and go, oh, I don't. Yes, you do. Are you a human being on this planet? That in itself is a miracle that you're even here. You have gifts and talents to share with the world. So there are places and spaces where I believe I'm sharing my gifts and talents with the world in the way that the universe, that God designed me to do. At the same time, because I'm a female who lives in our weird world, I struggle with saying, yeah, I feel really good when I'm doing XYZ, because we have these weird notions that we're bragging, right? Am I the only one? That is a weird limiting belief that I have in my head that I constantly have to. It is okay to be aware. You should be aware of when you're in your sweet spot, sharing your gifts and talents, because you give permission to others to get in their sweet spot and share their gifts and talents. And if we could all just step into our sweet spot and share our gifts and talents, the world would be a better place. And as a female, I also struggle with, but I don't want to be too much, or I don't want to seem like I'm bragging. I don't know that I'm a confident public speaker, but I do know to my bone that when I'm standing on a stage, sharing my knowledge and experiences and thoughts, when I'm sharing something that can shorten someone's learning curve, that can help someone turn a light bulb on, that helps them understand that they can create their life on purpose with purpose, when I'm standing on a stage and I'm doing that, that is home for me. that is my sweet spot. That is the gifting and the talent that the good Lord, that the universe, that Mother Nature, whatever it is you believe, I believe in all of it, gave me to share. Just like you have a gift and talent, just like my husband has a gift and talent, my daughters. Like when I think about my daughters and I think about Jessie singing and dancing, I'd rather poke my eyeball out than get on a stage and sing and dance. That is her gift and talent. Jenna writes books, amazing. I can't sit down and write a book. That is her gift and talent. So everyone has gifts and talents. I think when I'm standing on a stage and I'm sharing, that's the gifting that was given to me. So I don't know why we get as women, we get weird and feel like we're bragging about it. I didn't give myself that gift. That gift came from a higher power. It's my job to share it. That's why I was given the gift, right? So I don't know if I'm confident. I just feel like it's my sweet spot. Beth, you've talked a lot about the importance of reading personal development. It's not just reading, it's doing. Okay, it's a personal development, personal growth journey. It's not just reading, it's doing. Beth, it is really hard for me to choose a favorite book. It's like trying to choose a favorite child because I've read so much. I mean, my most recommended book ever, my most gifted book, my most recommended book, and my most read book is Ride of a Lifetime by Bob Iger. I've gifted that book more times than I can count. I've spent a lot of money on that book. I have recommended that book more times than I can count. I've read that book more times than I can count. I love Ride of a Lifetime by Bob Iger. I was just talking about this book this week. I love Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. I think it's amazing. I love You Are a Badass. I love, what have I even just read recently? I love Huddle. I just read Huddle by Brooke Baldwin, I think her last name is. So good. There's just so much out there. And remember that my recommendations for my personal growth journey might be different than what you need in your personal growth journey, because that first word, personal, is what's most important. However, I highly recommend Ride of a Lifetime. Marnie WBS Fit. I don't even know what's happening with that Instagram handle. Can you please make it your name so that we can have a conversation? If you could give one specific action item to someone starting to build a network marketing business, what would it be? It would be to start. Like, stop thinking it's weird. Stop thinking it's some anomaly. Stop thinking that it's cringy. Freaking own it and start it. Because what I'm doing now is it's so exponentially more impactful and beneficial for my family than teaching high school English. My life is exponentially better because of a network marketing business than teaching high school English. I'm in control of it. I'm in control of my income. I'm in control of my impact. I'm in control of my life. I'm in control, and I get to spend time with my family, and I get to see this every morning. And what would have happened if I would have been, ooh, network marketing, that's so cringy, that's so gross, that's so spammy, that's so salesy. No, it's freaking not. And if you don't want it to be like that, don't build a business like that. Start. And understand that when you are an entrepreneur, you have the ability and capability to create the life you want on purpose with purpose. And nobody gets to tell you when you can have a day off or not. So just start. And if you want it to not be salesy or weird or spammy or any of the other bullshit stuff that you've heard growing up, then make it different. It's your business. Just start. I'm very passionate about that. Very passionate about that. I think people underestimate the power of showing up every single day. People underestimate the power of showing up every single day. Here's what new business owners in the digital space will often do. Well, I'm going to put up one post, and then they put this post up, and then like, nobody said anything about my one post. This business is terrible. I quit. What? Listen, you underestimate the power of showing up every single day. Every single day. Courtney, what does my evening routine look like? Do I have a set of to-dos before you go to bed? No, I do not. That's a great question, because I'm very passionate about the morning routine. And the morning routine starts the night before. So make no mistake about that. The morning routine starts the night before. I don't get too precious about the evening routine. I try to shut down my computer around 8 I did not do that last night. I had some content to review and some stuff that I had to do, and I had a new coach join our team last night, and so I was, walking through stuff with them, and I try to shut down my computer around 8. We, especially with Jesse home right now, like we'll generally, like on Tuesdays we watch Only Murders in the Building. Last night we were watching High School Musical the series, or something like that. We try to we watched, here's a movie recommendation for you, The New Father of the Bride on HBO Max. So good. And then so we'll watch a little something as a family, around 8, sometimes. We've watched, there's a really great Netflix series, I think it's Netflix series called 7 Days Out. We've been watching that sometimes. So we're very intentional about our TV. Very intentional about our TV. So I try to shut down my stuff. We, do the stuff in the kitchen, run the dishwasher, whatever. I set out my clothes for the next day. I take my last thing. We watch a little TV. I do my skincare. We go to bed. I'm not too precious about my evening routine. I'm much less regimented in the evening than I am in the morning. I try to listen to the fireworks because I can hear them from here. So I try to listen to the fireworks. However, I'm just less like boom, boom, boom than I am in the morning. That's a great question because it does start the night before. I always get everything laid out and set out. That has been a habit of mine since high school. Like when I was in high school, I set out my clothes to wear the next day. I don't know where I got that. Probably from my dad, who was in the military. Probably from him. And he was a civil engineer. But I set my clothes out the night before. Always, always, always. Lindsay M. Watts. In the Beachbody community, are there successful coaches who are 45 plus? It seems to be an extremely young company. Really? Out of 500,000 coaches, have you done a poll to see how old most coaches are? That feels like you've seen a few posts from some people who seem to have younger children, and there's been an assumption made about the company as a whole. The company is 20 plus years old. It is growing older every single day. The coaches are getting older every single day. And I would say the vast majority of coaches are even 37 plus, And I will also tell you this, if you are a 21-year-old, if you're my daughter who uses the product, shares the products, talks about the products, whatever, and you find this business and you get it in your life and you start building it, like freaking kudos to you. Can you imagine having a business like this that you're in control of, that you get to build and you get to start it at 21? I'm like, more of you, please. I want more women. If you are 18 and can sign up as a coach in this business and become an entrepreneur, come on in and let's get more women making more money at a young age and understanding that you are in control of your life. I am all for it. And by the same token, if you're a little bit on the other end of the spectrum and you're an empty nester, what are you doing with your life? How about this? And also, if you are consumed with your age being a limiting belief into what you can do with anything, nothing's going to work for you, whether it's this business or anything else. If you are consumed with your age being a determining factor on whether you can succeed or not, doesn't matter what the business is. It just won't work for you. I said what I said. I said what I said. Okay, I'm going through. Anna Schaefer, did she change her name? Did she? Yes. I love that. Can you consider a PD list of your favorites in your links? I actually put a list of 12 of my top favorites in the Compass Planner. So any of you that have the Compass Planner, you have a list of 12 books that I recommend. If you don't have the Compass Planner, you should purchase the Compass Planner. Is that a plug for my planner? Yes, it is, because I think it works. I have The Artist's Way. Yeah, that's a good one too. The book by Bob Iger is called Ride of a Lifetime. Jessica Amoroso, this is a great question, and this will be the last one that I answer. Did I feel like I grew up with parents who supported your gifts and talents, and how did you use that or not to raise 3 very successful daughters? They are very successful. It's ridiculous how successful they are. My growing up, I had twin brother, sister, they were in high school when I was born. So there was a huge gap. So it was very much like I was an only child. I was both the youngest and an only child. And I'm a Scorpio and I'm a type A. It's a very deadly combination. So there was a lot of spotlight on me. That's good and bad. My dad was an only child, so I think he kind of got that a little bit more. My mom was an oldest with a lot of gap between her siblings and had a very weird family dynamic. There's a lot of spotlight on me, both good and bad. Like anything I did was examined and scrutinized. My sister made some really bad choices in her life, and then I came along, so there was a lot of spotlight on me to get it right, to be perfect. I got that was from my mom. My dad was less so. But because it was just me, mostly anything I wanted to try or do, they supported. Now, they didn't support it to the extent that we may do for our children right now, but that was just society back then. But mostly anything I wanted to do or try, they supported. Dance or piano or, whatever it might be. But there was none of this, I dance, and I dance 6 times a week. Like that just wasn't the society back then. But mostly anything I wanted to do, they supported. Even if they didn't really understand it. My mom has no idea what I do right now. She's 95. She doesn't understand the digital space. She just doesn't, you know what I mean? They just don't know. So I would say overall, I grew up in a pretty supportive family. I also grew up with a weird dynamic because my sister had made so many bad choices that I grew up with a lot of pressure on me to get it right. Did that form me? Of course it did. Now, how did I use that for my children? I think because I had older parents, I understood pretty early on how fast time flies. So I've always had a very deep appreciation for moments and for time. And that's just because I think I had older parents. And I grew up with a dad who'd be like, oh my God, this sunset's amazing. So I grew up learning to appreciate moments, to appreciate time, to find beauty in small things, to show up and do the work. So I always wanted moments with my girls. I'm very big on live experiences. So if there was story time at Barnes & Noble, we were there. If there was story time at the library, we were there. If there was a little folk artist concert at the library, we were there. If there was, everything I wanted to be an experience. If we had to go to Target, we would go to Target, and then we would stop at Panera's and have lunch, and then we would do something I was always trying to make it an experience of some kind because I wanted to create those moments for them. And then I knew early on that my job as a parent was to help my children uncover their gifts and then support them any way that I could in pursuing those. I don't know where I got that, if that's just me or where I just knew. All right, let's figure out what you love, and then when we're going to do it, we're going to go all in with it, period. And it doesn't really matter if it's inconvenient to you because you raised your hand to have children. It's inconvenient. So that meant if I was driving 30 minutes to ballet 6 days a week, that's what I was doing because that's my job as a parent, I said yes to that. So I put them in anything and everything to discover what their gifts and talents were. And then when we found it, we went all in. We just went all in with it. And I think that measure of complete support from your parents, it makes you feel a little bit invincible. It makes you feel like I can do anything. I also was really intentional on getting them out of, I called it the Carmel bubble because that's where we lived, Carmel, Indiana. I was really intentional on getting them out of the Carmel bubble. I did not want, no judgment, I did not want children who grew up in Carmel, Indiana, went to school in Indiana, married someone from Indiana, and came back and lived in Carmel, Indiana. That was absolutely what I did not want. So I worked really hard to get them out of the Carmel bubble with master classes and travel and shows and experiences and anything that we could do so they could see life. So they could see life. I hope that helps. I don't know. I hope that answers your question. Oh my God, there's so many more, and I'm slow. I'm so slow. And I'm loving that so many of you are really affirming that you can build your business at any age. So thank you for that. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yes, Deborah. Amazing. I love it so much. Yes, change those Instagram handles. Change those Instagram handles. Okay, good. That answered your question, Jessica. Okay. So I hope that answered some questions for you today. I hope that gave you some information. I just love having conversation. Sometimes I don't want to just come on and be like, rah. I want you to feel like you're a part of this conversation too, because you are. Like, we're having a conversation together. This isn't the JV show. That's gross. This is the Energize Live family show. This is family programming here. So let's be in this together and have conversation together. Okay, a couple housekeeping items as we wrap up. Number one, remember, no Energize Live tomorrow morning because we will be at Hollywood Studios. And I'm going to do my best to both show you behind the scenes stuff on stories over at the Riviera and whatever we do today. We're going to try and do a little family sort of offline day this afternoon, I think. When we get over there, we're taking the dogs to the spa, and thank God, and they need it so bad, and go over to the Riviera, and we're trying to do, if it's sunny and stays nice, we're just going to try and do a little family offline time together at the pool over the Riviera. But I'm going to try and give you some backstage stuff and take you along with me over at the Riviera and then over at Studios tomorrow morning. So that's tomorrow morning over there. And what else? Okay, so no Energize Live tomorrow. Okay, number 2. In my bio, if you go to the links in my bio, you'll see I have an opportunity for you. I'm working with my friend Josh Coates. He's offering this this really cool course called 626, and I'm doing some bonuses along with it. So go check that out. Just click the link in my bio, and you can kind of see, and you can see the bonuses that I'm offering with that. So if you got any questions, you already know, just shoot me a DM. Number 3, my Compass coaching, my small group coaching, open to anyone. Please, for the love of all things, stop sending me messages to say, do you have to be on your team to be in Compass coaching? No, because you get me on my team all the time. But sick of me on my team, probably. No, you do not have to be on my team. That's the point. That's why I did it. So Compass coaching is open through Sunday, and then it's closed. So if you've ever felt any calling or desire to work with me more closely and be in a small group with women who are also on a mission to uplevel their lives from all across the country, then Compass coaching might be for you. That link is in my bio as well, and applications for that close on Sunday. And then number 3, next month, which starts on Monday. What? Next month, which starts on Monday, round 2 of the 2022 new planners will be on sale, not on Monday, August 1st, but next month in August. They'll be on sale. And we'll be starting the last 100 days of 2022 together. And I'm doing something so cool and different I have not done before. I'll be unveiling that next month. So keep your eyes and ears open for that, because there's going to be a really cool opportunity to grow our planner community as well. Very excited. Becca Planning and Wellness. Becca B. Why is it Becca B Planning and Wellness? Can it just be Becca and your last name? When you purchase a planner, you get a series of videos that go over all of it. You sure do. So those are the housekeeping items. Nancy, you're funny. I mean, it would be exhausting to be any other way. Here we are. So any questions, as always, I'm just a DM away. Yesterday, I did a little reel about the power of cheering on other women. I feel like that's a conversation we need to have next week. So, or actually Saturday. We'll probably do Energize Live on Saturday, so stay tuned for that, all right? Okay, I hope you have an amazing Thursday. Go make some magic today. Go change some lives. Go tap into your gifts and talents. Go share it with the world. The world needs you and me and all of us at our A game. And truly, we are stronger together. Go make it an amazing Thursday.